Where do you think the point of just starting to learn how to manage, even what has been given to you, starts? Like, where does that journey start? So maybe I have a job, so I'm earning this amount of money. And then, I mean, after a few days, it's gone. So, I mean, how do I learn how to, properly manage this money?
There's a lot of resources out there.
Yeah.
I would say start with reading my book. I have a book that is, aligned to this sort of thing that is locally, the context is local, Kenyan, African.
Okay.
But besides that, there's YouTube, there's, the internet has a lot of resources.
Google is everybody's friend.
Right. I mean, if you want to know how to, there's lots of books out there that you can read. And I'd say, if you're hungry for the knowledge, it will come.
Yeah.
And you will find ways to learn. So the key thing is, what is it that you want to achieve?
Okay.
Begin with your goals. What do I want to achieve? And so this money that I'm receiving, what is it I want with it? Where do I want to get in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year?
Yeah.
And then find a way to then put money aside to achieve those goals. So first you need to understand that there's 3 key objectives. You need to first of all have a security basket. You need to have a growth basket, so where you put money to grow it as much as possible.
Okay.
And then you have a dream basket. And the dream basket is where you put a little money to enjoy as you're in the journey. So it's not just about putting money away. I'll use it when I'm 50, I'll use it when I'm 60, when I'm retired. No, it's important to also enjoy the journey.
Yes.
And so you put money aside for your dream. And your dream could be, I want that system,
Yes.
music system, or I want to be able to buy a car. It could be a bigger dream. Or I want to be able to take a trip this December to Naivasha or to Mombasa or to the Maldives.
Yeah.
And so I put money away aside
Okay.
so that then I enjoy this journey as I'm going along with it. So those are the key things for somebody who, in the situation you just mentioned. Before I chase them away to read a book, the basics. You need to have some money aside that you put in secure investments. That's what the security is. Things like a bank account where you have a savings account or a fixed deposit where you negotiate a good or the best interest rate that you can get possible.
Yeah.
Things like treasury bills and treasury bonds, money market funds, your home. If you own a home, that's a security as well.
Okay.
Really what it is that this security basket, you've put your money in something that you're comfortable. Like you're not waking up in the middle of the night wondering, did the price come down? Did it go? It's not a risky, volatile sort of investment.
Yeah.
And then you have some money that you've put aside in the growth or risk basket. And there is where you put money that even if you lost, you're not going to collapse, right? But it has potential to grow significantly. So things like equities or stocks, where you buy shares like Safaricom or KCB, companies that are listed on the stock exchange. It could be things we call like corporate bonds, where a company borrows money from the public to finance its business, and you lend them the money and they pay you back at a good interest rate. That's risky because the company could go under. But if you evaluate and you see, okay, this company is generating good cash flows, then I can invest. And several others which we can spend time going through. But those are the main things that you need to be able to put money aside for.
All right, okay. You've talked about being able to put money in like a risk-free fund, but there are also areas you can put your money in a specific investment, but a company can easily go under. And all these all the things you've mentioned, like putting your money in a growth investments, in a securities investment fund, and this dream basket. And someone is probably watching and they're just looking at the money they have every month, or not even every month, maybe it's erratic, and they're just like, I don't even have that luxury to put it in this dream basket, or they're thinking they want to, they would love to, but I have to buy diapers, I have to pay rent, I have to maybe fuel my car, I have to pay rent for maybe like a small car business, the shop that you own somewhere. There are all these responsibilities around it that are always pulling you here and there, and you're just like, when will I even start putting money aside for even just the basic savings? What do you tell?
It's a great question. It's a fantastic question. You don't have to fund those baskets at the same time.
Okay.
And the dream doesn't have to be something that is $1 million shillings. It could be a coffee at Java, where you can sit and read your book and enjoy, right? It could be anything that you find enjoyable. It could be a book that you want to buy to read. Now, you don't have to fund it all at the same time. And it doesn't matter how much you earn.
Okay.
it doesn't matter how much you earn. The idea is, what can you put aside? Is it 100 bob at the end of the month? Is it 500 shillings at the end of the month? Whatever that amount is, put it aside.
Yeah.
And then start to think, how can I find an additional income stream so that I can add to that little money that I'm putting aside. I'm reminded of a story that I love to share all the time, of a gentleman who came on TV once.
Yes.
And his name is Sylvester Kibe, although the name on the street is Kibe Wamei.
Yes.
I don't know whether you remember him.
No.
Kibe Wamei is a maize vendor. He, you know, sells roasted maize and polishes shoes. Kibe, at one point in time, said, now, am I going to live my life like this? Because the amount of money I have and I make at the end of the day, when I look at my obligations, it's all gone. And he decided, I'm going to save every single day.
Wow.
And he started to put aside, I think, now I remember it was 200 shillings a month. It was, I think, a month that he would save. He saved for 14 years.
Wow.
And continually saved, continually saved. Obviously, now I'm sure he managed to save a little more some months, a little, you know, more some weeks, depending on how he went. So in the morning, he would wake up 4 a.m., he's polishing shoes. As people are crossing, he's in a busy street at somewhere in Isili. And then in the evening and at 4 o'clock, he's doing the maize. Consistently saved in a circle. After 14 years, he bought a 14-seater minibus matatu.
Wow.
Employed a driver and employed a conductor.
What?
And still continued with his business and continued to save. So that story.
So he continued with the polishing of shoes and selling maize.
Yes. In fact, when you watch that clip, it shows that he has a karai on the top of the matatu with a maize cob, showing that people need to know this is what funded this. This is what has funded this. So it doesn't matter what you do. You know, another story is a friend of mine. She's Nigerian. She's also an author, has written a fantastic book as well called Smart Money Woman. Her name is Arese. Arese